First of all, Charlize and Gillian, thank you very much for being with us today in Paris for this new movie directed by a French guy, Gilles Paquet-Brenner. Gilles has a French sensibility, Charlize?
I don't really know what that is. I think he's just a real filmmaker and a real storyteller, and I am always surprised, because I've worked with people from all over the world. I'm South African, and I play all these American characters, and I'm always moved by the power of story and the human condition, and that it has no borders and no boundaries and no flags or language. It really is, it's all the same thing. And you know, the only thing that was really interesting, I thought, with Gilles being French, was that the story took place in a setting that was very much true Americana, the heartland of America. And
Kansas City, I mean, it's a very, very American city. I mean, Kansas City, yeah.
But I think, if anything, it was just another element, his diligence in wanting to understand what that world was by going to Kansas City with Gillian and eating from diners and experiencing and wanting to understand that. That made me realize that he really was the right guy for this.
Do you remember your first reaction when you read the script, or when you speak with Gilles for the first time about this story, this subject?
I do, yeah. I read the script and loved it. I thought it was a great story, and already knew Charlize, and could imagine her playing this role and being incredible in it. So I met up with Gilles. I was a big fan of Sarah's Key. I thought that was a beautifully made film. So we met up and had a chat, and he kind of said that I embodied a few of the things that he thought Lyle, the character I play in the movie, would be. I guess slightly strange and offbeat. So
you agree? You agree with that?
I'm a little bit odd in many ways. So I was like, I understand that exactly. And so we had a good meeting and a good chat. We got along very well, and he's a very laid back, easygoing guy. And then they asked me to do it. I think the fact that I'd worked with Charlize before, and the fact that I knew Gilles from that meeting kind of worked in my favour.
Thriller is also, for me, a social movie and family movie. So, I mean, it could be universal. So do you remember your first idea and motivation when you write this novel a few years ago?
You know, I was very interested in the idea of things that happen to us as children and what we carry with us forward, and the idea that if we don't address certain things, we really don't move forward. And that's, you know, very much what happened to the character of Libby Day, is she suffered this, you know, the loss of her family, and has just kind of shut that away and not dealt with the truth of it. And you know, she was a child who became famous for this very sort of awful thing, and what that has to do to a child.
And maybe you try to work with the author during the shooting. I'm not sure if you were in the set during the shooting sometimes, Gillian, but it was a case, you had a lot of communication with Gillian during the shooting?
We actually had no communication other than one day that we spent together on the set when Gillian came to visit, and she's fantastic in a cameo in the Kill Club. But I felt like I was communicating with Gillian through Gilles, because Gilles had spent time with her, a tremendous amount of time, while he was adapting the screenplay. So once we started working, it really was like Gillian was in the room, because he was really representing the time that he spent with her. So I really try to look at him for guidance on what he knew they had talked about before.
I'm a big fan of Kill Club. It's something very exciting. I mean, it's a good idea having a Kill Club.
The Kill Club was one of my favourite parts of the book. Yeah, it was this fascinating thing, because my older brother was, he was kind of fascinated by
the crime and
serial killers and all this. And so at home there'd be all these books, and for this I was like, I better learn a little bit about serial killers and all the murderers that my character would be fascinated by. You start reading about them and real life and the things that people did, and a lot of phrases that we use nowadays and where they come from and stuff. You suddenly realise, like, it's all from this very twisted past and these very strange people. So yeah, the Kill Club was a lot of fun, and then seeing that come to life and how Gilles brought all those characters into it, it was great.
Welcome to our club. What? Yeah, welcome to our club. You want me to show you around?
I want my money.
Come on, show you upstairs.
It exists, this Kill Club? It's something, it exists in the...
I don't necessarily know. I know there are certainly groups of amateur criminologists who come together and discuss certain, you know, crimes, and my thought was that idea of, the strangeness of a community that's built around a tragedy, and, it's a horrific murder. And, I know they exist online. My thought was, I'm a big comic book nerd, and I go to comic book conventions where everyone dresses up as, different superheroes or villains. So my thought was to make that physical and to make it an actual place that people got together and, dressed up as these different murderers. And so that was one of my favorite scenes to write of the book. So it was really very fun to be able to be on set that day and get in my costume, star with an Oscar winner.
Look at you.
The Kill Club, or KC as we call it, is basically for solvers and fans of famous murders. Everyone from like Fanny Adams to the killers
Who's
of...
Fanny Adams?
She was an 8-year-old who got chopped to bits in England back in 1867. That guy you passed with the sweets downstairs, he was playing the role of her murderer, Frederick Baker.
Jesus Christ. You guys need to get a life.
Yeah, we've been trying to push the role players out, but too many guys are into that. Plus, it's a good source of income for us.
Us?
The solvers. We're a serious-minded organization. Among our ranks are ex-cops, private and insurance investigators, lawyers. We solve crimes. That's what we do.
How you try to create this character?
Well, I had great material.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The understanding and the empathy that Gillian had in writing this character was something that I just tried to tap into as much as I possibly could. And there was something for me as an actor that was really exciting to play a person, a woman especially, who has such a conflictedness about her and is so incredibly flawed in these survival skills that she's picked up over the years in order to survive, whether it's to stop growing up and to remain a child and to not, dress like an adult or live like an adult or get a job. She just basically has stopped her entire life because of this fear to address her life and what's happened in it. And those are all, things about the human condition that I'm fascinated with anyway. So to get the chance to go and do it in this was just a real great opportunity for me.
How you create this character? I mean, you read the novel and you have a lot of discussion with Gilles about your character?
Yeah. Well, basically, read the script first.
Yeah.
And then once I got cast and everything, went and read the book. And this was the first of her novels that I'd read. But there's a lot in there. It's very subtly kind of interwoven into the story, but you kind of get to know Lyle and just little bits of information about him. So that was very useful. It's always great to have a book that you can draw from. And the fact that Charlize and I had already spent 7 months in the desert together on Mad Max meant that we already kind of had a rapport and a way of working together, where when we started on this, it was kind of felt...
So, I mean, it was easier because you worked before with
Exactly.
Charlize?
We kind of already knew each other's sense of humour. I know how she liked to work. I'm pretty easygoing with how I like to work, so we just kind of slipped right into it, and then Gilles could kind of form that relationship into what he wanted for the film.
Having the book, of course, and the author, it's a great opportunity, but sometimes not a little bit more difficult sometimes?
Oh, no,
No?
God, no. No, this is what you hope for, is to have access to as much as possible. I think there's a misconception that, actors create everything from scratch, and there's a huge process that takes place before an actor ever even steps in front of a camera, and that's the development stage where you're really writing the material and developing it around your location scout and how you're shooting it and where you're shooting it, and that influences it. And there's just so many things when you make a film that influences it that I thrive from all of that, because you really get to just stick your fingers in all of those pies and take and, or become a sponge and just soak all of that up. So for me, it's the more there is, the better.
At the same time, I like very much your character, very weird, in fact, very strange, very bizarre, his character. We don't know at the beginning of the movie when he arrived, we don't know exactly who is this guy, and little bit strange. I mean, it was exciting even for you, I mean, to create that?
Yeah, well, I don't know. That's interesting that you said that, because I don't ever look at him as being weird. In a way, it's like when you're playing an evil character or anything like that, for you playing them, they're normal. They're
I mean, first degree normal guy, like a normal guy.
So I can understand maybe watching the film why you'd be a little bit like, this guy's a little bit... he's a little bit offbeat, and he's obviously got strange interests in life, a strange interest. But I never thought of him as being weird. I just thought he was into slightly less normal pursuits.
You feel close to Libby Day? I mean, do you have some connection with her? You understand her?
Yeah, very much. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people will connect. Not just women. I think people will connect on her on just that bare level of the human condition, and that we all were raised by a family or some kind of a family structure, and we all have to kind of move on from that and grow up from that. And I think in that period in your life when you're a young child, it really kind of influences your development as an adult. And the idea that whether you've experienced a tremendous trauma in your life, it doesn't exclude you from having to go through your life when you get older and realize that your actions might be influenced by your past. And I think that's the thing that I think people would really grab on. That's what I grabbed onto.
I know you killed them.
No, I did not.
Is that what you said back then?
Of course not. I was a teenage boy in a house full of girls. At school, I was the kid that nobody paid attention to. In that courtroom, people were scared of me. I was a badass.
A badass who killed his family.
Libby, I was a fool, but I did not kill Mom or Debbie or Michelle.
Then why have you never filed for an appeal? You like it so much in there, you want to stay there? You know what I think? I think you're full of shit.
And how you work during the shooting, I mean, with the cast, is it very important for you having discussion, communication all the time before the takes, during the shooting, and to try to change a lot of things? Not really. It depends, in fact, on your character.
Yeah, it's always different. That's what's nice about this job. You know, you never really know what it's going to be, and I like that about it. You know, I think of all the times that I've sat in a room with a director or a writer, and you work on something, and you're coming up with ideas, and you're changing things and rewriting, and then you kind of go, we nailed it, this is great. And then, you know, the night before shooting or the day you show up, it's like it's pouring rain, and you know, everything that you thought was going to be there for you that day isn't there. And I like that things can change last minute, and I like working with people that are okay with that. I think you prepare as much as you can, and I like that as well. I don't want to just show up on the set and just wing it, but there's something nice about, you know, like everything in life, not trying to control everything.
You try maybe to write a novel, and not only like a genre, specific genre, but like a universal story.
To me, the mystery is almost beside the point. To me, the mystery is the harder part to do with all the different plot constructs and that. And, you know, I use that as an engine to talk about what I am wanting to talk about. And, you know, with Dark Places, it was, you know, talking about family, talking about the nature of memory, talking about, you know, this particular character. And
it's a crisis too. I mean, the crisis is in 1985 in the Kansas.
Farm crisis, the Satanic Panic of the 80s, and those different time periods, and to really dig into, you know, I trick people into reading a character study by adding the mystery to it, maybe.
Charlize, how do you explain? You have 3 movies right now. I mean, this one and the movie directed by Sean Penn, and you will be in Cannes with Mad Max. It's a coincidence having all the 3 projects right now?
No, not a coincidence. Fury Road, the Mad Max film, was a very, very long post-production, and also long production. You don't know when movies are going to come out. It's very strange. You know, you kind of make them, and then you have no idea when they will actually see. You know, some movies don't see the light of day for years. So I feel like I'm in a very lucky position to have 3 of them. Well, one is still in pre-production, so that will still be a while before that one comes out.
You have this movie, and in May 14, Cannes Film Festival is going to be the huge premiere of Mad Max. Yes. Fury Road. I mean, you think this project can be changed something for you, Mad Max?
I don't know. Hopefully lots of people see it and like it. And it's playing a very different character for me. Again, I look very different and
But is it you? Because I see the thriller, your face, it's amazing.
Yeah, it was 2 hours of makeup. I lost a lot of weight. It was all kind of scars and body. Yeah, it was a transformation. But George Miller, you know, he's created such a fantastic world for us to go and play, and it was a real pleasure to work on that film.
You will be in Cannes. I mean, for the you don't know because
I
you
hope so. I'm meant to be filming X-Men at the time, so I'm not sure. Yeah. We'll wait and see. They're trying to get me there.
Yeah, it's going to be
I would
great.
like to be there. I've only been to the film festival for the TV festival for Skins before. So,
Yeah.
So I'd like to be at the film
It's
festival.
going to be great. So I would like to finish this interview with the trailer of Mad Max. Is it okay for you?
Here's the trailer for Mad Max Fury Road. Hope you like it.
Merci beaucoup, Nicolas. Merci.
Merci.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Hey, what's your name?